In Dandy's world, the players have to face off against and evade Twisteds, corrupted zombie-like versions of the various tunes that you can play as. Most of them are the same. If you get too close or within their line of sight, they give chase. If they get too close to you, they attack you. But if you get out of their line of sight, they will eventually lose interest. But there are a small handful of Twisteds that don't work like that. What's up, fellow monsters? I'm Bexton, and these are the Semi-Freebie Twisteds in Dandy's World Explained. But before we begin, I want to explain to you guys what I mean by semi-freebie. There are no true freebie Twisteds in Dandy's world, but when it comes to semi-freebies, they have a small set of rules attached to each of them. And if you follow those rules, you'll be out of harm's way regarding these Twisteds in particular. If you don't follow these rules, you'll most likely get hurt. So far, as of this video, there are 5 Twisteds that I'd label as semi-freebies. Blot, Connie, Glisten, Razzle and Dazzle, and Roger. I will be explaining each of these in descending order of how easy I think it would be to understand these as a newcomer. That's not to say any of these are hard to understand, far from it. It's just that some of these Twisteds might be a bit easier to understand than the others. So we're going to start with Razzle and Dazzle. The way R&D works is that when they spawn, they will automatically start out by lying dormant. Red ropes will appear out of the ground, essentially creating a dotted circular outline around them. If you are within the circle, you'll be perfectly fine and won't be harmed if you walk. But if you run within the circle, R&D will wake up and attack you if you stay within the circle for too long. But they don't move. Even if you put them into this phase, they don't move from their spot at all. However, during this phase, if no one gets within the circle for a while, they will eventually go back to lying dormant, and you can go back on your merry ways doing whatever it was you were previously doing. TLDR, if you don't want to be hurt, either stay outside the circle or only walk inside the circle. Next up, Blot. The way Twisted Blot spawns is similar to R&D. They spawn on a random point on the floor and don't move from that spot ever. Additionally, you can walk right out to the little guy and not get hurt. However, that's where the similarities end. Once the elevator opens, 2 giant inky hands will pop out of the ground. If someone gets too close to the hand will try to swing at them. However, if you keep watch on one of these hands, you may eventually see the hand go back into the ground. But that just means that the hand is moving to a different location. Additionally, if you're fast enough, you can just run past the hand and come out scratch-free. And like with R&D, you can evade the attack if you move out of the radius quickly enough. To summarize Twisted Blot, don't get too close to the hands, and if a hand is blocking the way, you either have to be fast enough to run past it or wait for it to move. Next is Roger. Twisted Roger is also similar to R&D and Blot in that he also doesn't move from his spot, but he's literally hiding in plain sight. Allow me to draw your attention to this picture of a research capsule. Notice anything peculiar? I'm talking about these 2 gray bands. When Twisted Roger spawns on a floor, there will be an extra capsule that doesn't have these 2 gray straps. If you pick it up, Twisted Roger will spawn, and you'll instantly be afflicted with Slow 3 and Confused 3 for 5 seconds, which makes it hard to evade him once you spawn him. If you get too close to him in this state, he will open his eye and eventually attack you. However, if he's left alone for long enough, he'll go back to being an imposter capsule. To summarize Twisted Roger, if you know he's on the floor, check every capsule before you pick it up, and when you find the imposter, remember its location. Moving on to Twisted Glisten. You'll immediately know if Twisted Glisten is on the floor because a line of dialogue will instantly pop up at the bottom of your screen the moment the elevator opens. From that point onward, you are constantly on a timer. You see, Twisted Glisten has a purple meter above his head that slowly fills if no tunes are around him. But if there is at least 1 tune close enough to him, the meter will go down. You want the meter to stay down, and because of that, someone is going to have to stay by him almost at all times, so that way the meter stays down. For any Dandy's World players watching who have heard the term babysitting and don't know what it means, this is what it means. If a tune is babysitting, that means that they are staying by Twisted Glisten probably at all times. However, Glisten is constantly roaming around the map, although he does sometimes periodically stop, so you have to follow him. Oh, but Benson, why did the meter fills all the way up? Well, I was just about to explain that. If no one's played Glisten for long enough, he would give every player several warnings as the meter fills up. If he is left alone for too long, the meter will fill all the way up and Glisten will enter his enraged state. In this form, he acts like a normal Twisted. But in no way is this ideal, because in this state, this sweet, traumatized mirror is the second fastest Twisted in the game. Unfortunately, this state is inevitable when panic mode strikes. And what makes it worse is the fact that every single Twisted on a floor gets a 25% speed boost upon panic mode. So Glisten normally has a chase speed of 24, but during panic mode, it's 30. For context on how fast that is, Pebble, one of, if not the best distractor in the game, has a run speed of 30 by default. So to summarize Twisted Glisten, make sure you have a babysitter if you're playing with multiple people. And if you're babysitting him, you need to pay attention to the machine count and if someone says GTE, because if you don't, and you don't have 5-star movement speed, even if you get a head start, you're probably going to get chased down and jumped. I remember when I used to be a Roger main, I often babysat Glisten, and one time I waited until panic mode to go to the elevator. Glisten caught up to me quickly, and he jumped me. I didn't die, but he still jumped me, so be careful. Alright, anyways, let's move on to the final semi-freebie Twisted, Connie. Connie's movement is basically the same as passive Glisten, wandering around aimlessly and occasionally stopping. However, periodically, she will walk up to a machine and possess it. There are multiple ways you can tell if Connie is possessing a machine. For one, blue mist will appear for a couple of seconds as she possesses it if you're lucky enough to witness it. Additionally, the machine will most likely appear primed with almost full completion, and the valve will always be in this orientation. And the last way to tell if she's there is that twice before she leaves, the red light at the top of the machine will flash blue, and at the same time, the valve will squelch and stretch. Eventually, she will leave the machine, letting you extract from it safely. But if you try to extract from it while she's possessing it, she'll tag you once. In short, check the machines before you extract from them, especially if they look primed. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you genuinely enjoy my content, consider subscribing to my channel and turning on notifications so you don't miss any of my future videos. I'm going to be posting some more Danny's World stuff soon, so be sure to stick around for that if you want to. With that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your week full of monsters, and remember, live life strong, keep roaring, and stay heart healthy. Peace out.